Can you imagine putting your house up for sale only to have it sit there day after day, keeping the house clean and hauling the kids and the dogs off every time there's a showing? Or worse, there are no showings and no offers, ultimately leading to frustration and anxiety about what to do next. There are currently over 2,300 homes in the Dallas-Fort Worth market that have recently reduced their listing price. And in the last 90 days, over 1,500 homes expired, meaning they didn't sell. And there are more than 5,300 homes that have been sitting on the market for 60 days or longer.
You know, pricing your home to sell is a pretty big deal. And if you're like most people, you want to sell your house, but you don't want to give it away feeling like you could have gotten more money. But you do want to sell your home so that way you can move on to your new home to be able to have more space for the kids and the dogs. In this video, we're going to share with you the best possible pricing strategy that you will not hear from most real estate agents, as well as 3 of the biggest pricing mistakes sellers make. And if you stay tuned till the very end, we'll share with you how you can get 9 more best tips to sell your home for the most amount of money, the least amount of time, with ease and confidence.
You know, we had a family who hired us to help them buy a house about 10 years ago in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. A great job offer came along, so they jumped at it and they moved away. But instead of calling us to help them sell, they chose a discount brokerage, thinking they could save money on not hiring a full service professional. This discount broker listed the home at the price the sellers wanted, which was way above what the market was bearing, actually about $100,000 over market value. The sellers thought that since the market was super hot, they could get whatever price they wanted. Well, unfortunately, this discount broker didn't advise them on how pricing actually works. And they had no showings and no offers, which in that crazy heated market, they could have had a great return on their investment, even if they had priced it where the market actually was, where buyers were buying. Since the sellers had already moved out of the house, they felt they had no choice but to rent it for a year. Well, after that year, they called us to sell the house for them. We ran the numbers to see what the current market was bearing. The sellers decided they wanted to try a higher price by about $30,000. And we normally won't choose to list a home that much over what the market will bear in that specific price range. But we agreed to do so with the stipulation that the seller would reduce the price if there were no viable offers after 30 days. Well, we got a few showings and a few no thank yous. After 30 days, the seller did agree to lower the price to where we originally told them that it would sell. And it did. And they still made above what they really wanted to make, so they were happy. But I can't help but think about how much more money they could have put in their bank account and all the stress that they could have avoided if they had just priced the home right to begin with.
To make sure you're getting the most amount of money on the sale of your house, it's important to understand how pricing works, as well as how it does not work. There are a lot of voices out there giving their opinions on how to price a house and what it should sell for. Neighbors, family, friends, and coworkers all become real estate expert when it comes time to sell. And while they're all well-meaning with their advice, if they don't actually sell real estate full-time on a daily basis, they may misguide you. With your house likely being one of the biggest investments, it's worth taking a little time to better understand how to guard the equity or your wealth that you've built in your home. There are actually quite a few things that go into how to price your house. Let's talk about how not to price your house. It's not based upon what you paid for the property. It's not based upon what the tax appraisal value is. And it has nothing to do with what your neighbor says. It has nothing to do with the cost to rebuild the house. And it's not based upon what you need or what you want. And it's definitely not based on what some automated home value website shows that it's worth. Unfortunately, we've seen quite a few homeowners and agents as well price the property based on some of these things. You might get lucky, but wouldn't you rather go with a more certain strategy?
When it comes to pricing, there are many factors to consider, such as competition, meaning how many homes are on the market in your area and where are they priced? What have other homes in your area actually sold for most recently? Market appreciation or depreciation. Is the real estate market going up, down, or is it staying level? Is it a buyer's market or a seller's market, which is determined by the months of inventory, the condition of the property, the type of property you're selling? Is it a regular home in a subdivision, a home on acreage? What is the size and the style of the home? And the location of the house. Is it on a busy street? Does it back up to power lines or a retail strip center? Is it on a lake or a green belt space? Things like this.
When you meet with your real estate agent about pricing your house, they should show you a list of comparable properties that have recently sold in your area, as well as properties that are currently for sale and under contract. Together, you will go over all the information to help you determine the best pricing strategy. There are two different pricing strategies. The first pricing strategy is to price your home above the current market value, or what we call overpricing. A lot of people think this is a great approach because it gives them room to negotiate or come down later if there is no interest. You can do this, but you'll generally either get the negotiations you expected with lowball offers or no offers at all. Pricing your home above other homes for sale in your area only works if it has some sought after features that other homes do not, or the real estate market is trending upwards. Let's dive into what can happen when overpricing your house. When you're putting your house up for sale, the other houses for sale in your area are your competition, and you want to win this competition by having the best house for the best price. Put yourself in the buyer's shoes when looking for a home for sale. Would you be looking for a home that offers the most features and benefits for the least amount of money? Well, so are the buyers looking at your house. We're all looking for the best value. Looking at this table graphic, for example, do you think that the buyer would pay more for your house when they're comparing it to a larger house, all things considered, meaning the condition is comparable and all the other items involved? No, the market of the buyers will reject your house, leaving it sitting on the market and leaving you feeling frustrated. The internet has made home buyers very savvy when looking for and comparing homes. If they're searching for a home in a specific price range, they'll immediately know if they see a home in that price range that does not have comparable features that the other homes offer. Let's look at what happens when your house sits on the market due to being overpriced. This graph shows that homes generate the most amount of interest in the first several weeks on the market. After those first few weeks, the buyer's interest begins to wane. If you start too high and you end up dropping the price later, your house misses the excitement and fails to generate strong activity. The National Association of Realtors did a study, found that the longer the house sits on the market, the more likely it will sell for less than market value. As shown on this graph, when a house sits longer than the average days to sell, that's when the buyers are looking for a steal of a deal and they throw in a low ball offers because they think the seller is desperate to sell. Legitimate buyers begin to wonder what is wrong with the home and why hasn't it sold. Buyers that could have afforded your house if it was priced correctly up front didn't see it because it was outside of their price search.
Now, the second pricing strategy is to price your house at or just below market value. Now, this may sound initially like you would be setting yourself up for a less than favorable price. But this strategy works time and time again to get sellers market value or above in the least amount of time on the market. Let me explain how this works. Looking at this smart pricing pyramid, you can see that by pricing the home 10% above market price, you will only expose it to 30% of the buyers. If you price it at market value, you will expose it to 60% of the buyers. And if you price it at 10% below the market, you'll expose it to 75% of the market. Now, we're not saying you have to price it 10% below the market value, but by pricing your house at or just a little bit below market value, you'll be exposing it to the most amount of buyers. You can increase your chance to receive multiple offers and put yourself in top negotiating power by having your house at the best price and the best condition with the best features and benefits. You create a feeding frenzy of attention when you have a great home at the best price. Even if you only get one offer, It will cause that buyer to bring a great offer because they know that your house beats out the competition hands down. You'll reduce any buyer objections about the value and demolish any thoughts of submitting a lowball offer or them getting cold feet and backing out later. Your time on the market is reduced and you avoid selling for less than market value. Now, to alleviate your fear of not getting the best price possible for your house, let me share a little secret with you. You can't underprice your property. I know, that sounds crazy. But did you know that the market value of your property is actually determined by what a seller and buyer agree upon, and then what the appraiser determines if there's a loan involved? So if you were to price your property a little lower, it will create a whirlwind of activity, which in turn causes the price to go up. It's all about supply and demand, and a little FOMO. At the end of the day, you have to ask yourself, would you rather price it at the top of the market or above, with potentially having to reduce later, sit on the market too long, and possibly sell for less than market value, along with keeping the house clean for showings and still paying carrying costs on the house? Or would you rather price your home at or just below market value with the possibility of creating a multiple offer situation, selling in less time, and being in a top negotiating position to get you the highest price? You don't have to take it from us. You can read reviews from our past clients that have used this strategy. I can tell you that they have been very happy with the results. This strategy works, and we see it time and time again with our clients.
Now we promise to give you the 3 of the biggest pricing mistakes home sellers make. First is the $1 mistake. For example, pricing your house at $599,999 versus $600,000. Unfortunately, we see this a lot, and I can understand the simple logic behind it. That psychology, people may think they're getting a deal because it's in the $500,000 price range instead of the $600,000 price range. However, here's the problem. When people are searching for a home, they search typically in $10,000 increments. You can go to any real estate home search website and see how pricing is broken down. So if someone can afford a $600,000 house and is searching between $600,000 and $610,000, they just missed seeing your house because of $1. The next mistake in pricing your house is based on the price per square foot model. When you decide to price your house based on the average or median price per square foot of the neighborhood homes, you can either be overpricing or underpricing your house. The smallest house in the neighborhood will sell for a higher price per square foot than the largest home in the neighborhood. So if you're the largest home in the neighborhood and you price your home based on the price per square foot of a smaller house, you just overpriced your home. It may end up just sitting on the market. This goes for the opposite as well. Other factors that play into price per square foot are the type of finishes in the home, lot size and location, swimming pool, and other factors. Also, people searching for a home online don't search by price per square foot. Searches are set based upon the overall price. But one of the biggest problems is that the home appraisers don't value a house based upon price per square foot. So when it comes time to appraise the property, if a buyer is getting a loan, the numbers could be way off, potentially causing problems in the sale of the house. The third mistake is one we've alluded to, and it's the mistake of pricing your home based on what a computer algorithm or home value website determines. I know most people just want to hit the easy button on the website, plugging in the address and have it just spit out a magical number of what it would sell for. But it doesn't work that way. Texas is a non-disclosure state, meaning we cannot disclose to the public what someone's house actually sold for unless we're having a real estate conversation. We have to be in a professional relationship to disclose sold prices. Those home value sites are just computers that have pulled information from various sites trying to get a ballpark number. Many times it's looking at what the county appraisal district has the value or what current homeowner's mortgage was when they bought the house. None of which has anything to do with actual market value. Now sometimes they're close, but you really have no way of knowing until you look at all the things that go into actual market value analysis. The computers don't have any way to account for whether the market is trending or if a home has been updated.
Years ago, we had a family that decided to move out of state, and as they were making their plans, they decided to use one of these online home value sites to know what their current home would sell for. They took that information, then went under contract to build a new home in their new city. When they called us to sell their home here in the Dallas area, unfortunately, the real market numbers didn't come close to matching what they thought they could sell for, which in turn affected how much money they were going to have to put down on their new home. Well, thankfully, they were able to make it work, but they definitely would have made different decisions had they known the actual amount they would have made from the sale of their home. If you found this information on how to price your home for sale valuable, we're offering our ebook with 9 other tips for free at the link below. This book will give you some of our best secrets on how to price your house to sell for more money in less time with ease and confidence. There are things that we share in this book that you won't find anywhere else on the internet or even from other real estate agents. We honestly thought about putting a price on it to sell since it is a compilation of all of our years of experience in the real estate industry, but we decided to give it away for free to those who truly need and want to know how to navigate selling with less stress and more confidence.
And if you and your family are ready to sell, but you're needing help knowing how to specifically price your house, give us a call. We'll be happy to help. And if you don't live in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, no worries. We can connect you with a great agent in your area. We look forward to hearing from you soon, but until then, we hope you're living your best Texas home life.